let's talk about a brand that got some commas.
Yeah.
Love these guys. My kids watch all their stuff. Dude Perfect.
Did you go to the one in Orlando?
Never been. I haven't seen them live. We had it the COVID year. We had tickets.
Yeah.
And then we just didn't go the next year. Have you been live?
I tried. My girls were like,
They don't really care.
I'm not in. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's cool. But so these are the trick shot dudes, right?
Yep.
They were the trick shot dudes.
The original.
Yeah.
The OG trick shot boys.
Yeah. I mean, they're one of the top 10 accounts on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right. And they just got $100 million investment, and to grow the brand and build the brand. And I thought it would be a really cool, like, thought exercise of like, what would you do if you got 100 million to continue to, like, this is already an existing media property. Again, already top 10 in all of YouTube, makes a ton of money, doing touring, has merch, has yada, yada, right? What in the world do you do next? Like, what do you use this investment for?
So they raised that, right?
They raised it.
Okay. So I'm curious. I have my particular thing that I would do. I don't think it's the same, but do you have any concept of what they plan to do on it?
I didn't go too deep on it. I know that it's to develop more media properties. Like, they want to go and develop like their own shows for Amazon. They want to go and develop still own it. Right. And I think the part of that is then you have to spend the money to create those shows. We talked about this. I think Mr. Beast, like last week or the week before, going to Amazon. These games on Amazon, he got Amazon to pay X millions of dollars per episode.
Yeah.
But Amazon's going to own that content, even though he has creative control, all of that. But I think Dude Perfect wants to continue to own their destiny.
And it might be controversial, whatever, hot take, but I would not try to build media in regards to television programming. Who have you heard, for the most part, right? Like, hey, they sold that TV show, right? It's not a thing. It kind of like you have it all. I would go build a network, like the Dude Perfect network, and build out.
I think they have something like that.
I'll do that. I'd expand on that. I'd be creating new personalities into new shows on YouTube, on the social channels, right? And then after that, I'm creating content. I'm creating brand, and then I'm creating products, right?
Yeah.
Experiences, or I'm creating some sort of like continuities. I'm creating merch. Most of them, for sure, they're going to have that. But I'm building all of them together, possibly into one massive, like Feastables, kind of like one core thing, or just a lot of them, right? Like a lot of merch, big thing, just anything like physical products, but I wouldn't do it on the television side.
I agree.
I would go acquire properties. I would go grab like a Daquan, or like just big things, or big up and coming creators, and I'm blowing like 100,000 an episode on dudes, you know?
Yeah. So I think, we have at my house almost every Nerf product that they've made, right?
Yeah.
They have a football, they have this like target, you could like throw stuff, whatever.
They should be Nerf.
They shouldn't license their name to Nerf.
No.
They should be Nerf.
Right.
So either acquire Nerf, which they could probably do, or close to it, or...
Can you check how much Nerf is worth?
Or go and build the next Nerf.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason that every kid on the planet shouldn't be using a Dude Perfect basketball, a Dude Perfect baseball, making baseball gloves. Like, how much money is in youth sports and all of that? There's a meme going on right now where it's the wife on TikTok, and it says like, what's the most expensive bag you own? And she grabs her Louis bag, she grabs her Gucci bag, and then she pulls out the baseball bag. Because like my kid's bag, he's got 3 $250 bats. He's got a $400 glove. He's got a $100 helmet, $100 sliding mitt, shoe. Like, there's a lot of money.
In that thing.
Yeah, in youth sports. So I think they should own that category of sporting gear. I mean, there hasn't been a breakthrough sporting gear company
throw camps. I don't know if they already do that.
Yeah, but then you have media to do all of that
all day.
So I think that's where I would go.
How much is it worth? $460 million. It's worth 460. They couldn't buy it yet, but they could beat it.
But I bet they could.
Yeah, they could
with the right investment.
With the right investment.
But anyway, but I think with $100 million, you could build it.
Exactly. It would take you 50 mil to just pass that.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
Right. Or have Nerf pick you up. Right. Because then now they're terrified. Right. Hey, these guys are not licensing with us. Now they're competing against us. Shit. What are we gonna do? We have to scoop them up. Right.
Yeah.
So that's easy. Yeah, man. It's crazy because also they're in a forever opportunity because you and I, it's cool, whatever. I'm not gonna buy anything from them. I'm not gonna really engage that much. But our kids and kids, it's forever. And you can be 70 and just doing the shots, or you can whatever. And as you build other people, that kind of stuff is like, it just lasts.
Yeah. And while there are 5 original characters, it's Dude Perfect. It's not the Ty Show or the Twins or
you can flip
Hosier or whoever. So you could flip it to the next character and the next character and the next character. And
like the Power Rangers.
Yeah, 100%. Somebody wearing the suit, but like if a cool dude can do trick shots, he can do trick shots or whatever the case is. So I think they're in a great spot where they built brand. Yes, I think the kids today have an affinity to some of the characters in it, but you can build new characters like Paw Patrol, right? They add new dogs all the time.
100%.
Why? Because they can sell more merch. They can add that person to tour. The voice actor grew up, like whatever it is. So I think Dude Perfect's in a great spot. Hey, kudos to them, flowers to them, 100 million. But there's so much you could do with that.
I would buy personalities, build products, merch, whatever. But I would also go buy and build like a massive internal almost agency that runs TikTok Shop at scale. Because after TikTok Shop, I know this is going to come. Facebook's going to have to compete. Instagram's kind of trying super cheap. It's not going to work out right now, but Zuck can't buy anything.
There's no way
steal.
Zuck is seeing that and he's not going to do anything 100%, about it.
100%, right? But then YouTube has already said, we are doing this. And also, there's going to be more room because TikTok is coming out with an Instagram competitor. I think it's called TikTok Notes or something like that. Don't quote me on that. But they are coming out with something like that. So we're in like an Amazon kind of like revolution, kind of like when we saw a lot of people become 100 millionaires and even billionaires through Amazon. I think this is there. So I would just be like, boom, I'm grabbing a guy for $100 million business, boom, paying him like 7 figures, going and scooping out all these influencers, but they work for us. And building out that increases media, increases views, increases exposure, increases revenue, right?
Man, wild.
Yeah.
Wow, good stuff. I want to talk about another dude. I was just telling you about him before we went live. Pickleball. I'm big fan of pickleball. Big fan. There's a guy in pickleball. He's one of the top athletes. He is now getting a little older. He's not the number 1 player in the world. At one point he was, but he is by far and away the biggest name in pickleball. He's very colorful, like between the clothes he wears, his personality.
What's his name?
Tyson McGuffin. So he was good at pickleball. That's a first, right? You got to be good at your craft.
Yeah.
That's a given. But during COVID, he said, I'm going to double down on me and content. And he filmed 150 instructional videos during COVID for YouTube. And it was like, how to shoot a dink, how to do a third shot return, how to spin your serve, like whatever, right? All these different 150 videos. Now, during that time, he owned that space because this is when pickleball hit that super, during COVID, the sport exploded.
100%.
So now he's the guy. You're on YouTube and you're like, how do I hit a dink shot? And it's boom, Tyson's video. Boom, 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 boom. And he bet on himself. And because of that, his content grew and he's like, all right, now let me double down. Let me do a podcast. Now let me go and create other media. And he built a media brand around pickleball. He was the first one and only one to do it.
Yeah.
From that, he launches camps because now he's the one that everybody's watching his instructional videos. And so he made a decision early on. He was like, I made these 150 videos. Should I put them on Udemy or Teachable and sell this? He's like, no, how about I just bet on me and bet on content that this is going to win? And now he's selling out camps. He's not even going to the camps anymore. He's got an instructor who goes out, who is in the videos with him, who goes out and runs all the Tyson McGuffin camps. Yeah. And so doing these camps, he's brought in brand deals. So he's a pickleball player with his own custom sneaker from Skechers. He's got a deal with Miller Lite. He's got his own paddle with Jula. He's got you just go on and on and on. So, and why do they want to be a part of it? Because he's got media.
Yeah.
He doubled down on himself. And then the new one, and this is one that I've really loved, is he said, so everyone's doing this. Podcast, talking head, cool. Everyone.
Yeah.
I'm going to hire a full-time videographer and I'm going to bring him to every one of my tournaments, every one of my engagements, everything. And I have a family. I got 4 kids, my wife. They come to everything. My wife's like my business partner. Now they have a family blog and it's called like Raising the McGuffins or Growing McGuffins. It's like something like that.
Yeah.
And it's a family vlog about pickleball and it's blowing up.
And you already know that model works.
The model works. And the cool thing is he does cool stuff. So like he was just invited by Richard Branson to go to Necker to teach a pickleball camp in Necker.
Sick show.
Sick
episode.
Right? Like he's in the pool and they're like bringing like sushi floats in. He's like, I'm some dude from, wherever he's from. He's from somewhere out west in the mountains. He's like, they're bringing sushi to me on boats, like it's the coolest show. And then he's going to the tournament and you're seeing him stretch and you're seing him go to the gym and then you're seeing him pick up his kids up and they're going out for ice cream. And you're like, I love this guy. I want him to win 100x. But I think it all started by that early day of like, I'm going to own this category. I'm going to shoot a shitload of content and I'm going to bet on myself. And I think there's no reason this can't be done. From every athlete could do this in any sport. Any expert can do this in any field that you have. You just have to bet on yourself and go all in on media.
Yeah. On a a real estate person, the model's there. You can do it, but just be the top local person. I was talking to Chris, who you guys can't see, or maybe you can, like behind you, whatever. We were talking about doing a podcast with him and stuff like that. I was like, no pod. I showed him Orlando Real, this Orlando real estate guy that just gives updates about what's going on and what's new and what's popping in Orlando. I was like, dude, we have the sickest studio now, you and I, on this whole thing.
Yeah.
Go get like the big Orlando influencers and just build it as a massive TikTok instead of like a pod. We'll shoot that, but then boom, that's the 3 different places, whatever. And just be the king of Orlando. Is that the biggest deal in the world? No, but it is in Orlando, you know? And that's, you know, a lot of people just want to be that person. You know, Ghost killed it at the beginning with their dope-ass warehouse and their dope-ass office that they had in Chicago, and like just getting started, but still kind of fun. Yeah, and like, they would create all that content. And people are like, man, they just blew up. Like, no, they didn't. Like, I mean, they did. They did a great job from the beginning.
Yeah.
But like who they are today is a like 100% directed because of the efforts of posting every single thing when they first had the initial collabs and how they were working them and all that. And some of it is boring. It's life, right? Like, and if you're thinking like us, like we're kind of boring to a degree. Yeah. When we speak and stuff like that, that's when things are cool, and it's few and far between sometimes, right? Like, because we more and more kind of don't want to do that kind of thing. We fake some stuff sometimes. Like, hey, if I said something good, hey, re-get it, let's chop it, let's move it, because that's what television is, and we're watching television. This is a radio show on TV, right? Yeah. This is CNN. This is whatever the case. Like, it's all the same. It's just a part of us now. The humans are the reason. I think at the end of the day, dude, like, media is going to become completely like just social. Who watches television? It's becoming so hard. You know what I mean? Like, I think I'd rather, dude, when my wife goes to sleep, I go upstairs and I watch YouTube. I watch YouTube.
Yeah. When my wife passes out, when we're done watching the Netflix show, boom, right to YouTube. Every show I watch is on YouTube.
Yeah. I could give a shit about what's on TV.
Yeah. But and the crazy thing is, like, my kids only watch YouTube.
100%.
They don't even, the only TV that, so my 11-year-old, right, that's probably a good age, right? Like 99% of everything's YouTube. He watches baseball games with me on TV. That's it. Yeah. Everything else is YouTube.
Yeah. Like me and my oldest, Sienna, when the other two are at cheer or whatever, we're YouTubing. We're watching Norris Nuts. We're watching just a bunch of different things, right? Like Taylor Swift stuff, whatever, vlogs.
But the cool thing is, everyone has this opportunity to be the king of Orlando, to be the Tyson McGuffin, to be whatever that it is. But you got to put in the work, and you just got to create.
Let's go back, and I'll kind of let you kind of run this one, because you killed it on this. But you know, you're thinking, we've been doing this for almost 20 years, and you're thinking, oh man, it's too late, it's whatever. No, we've been doing this for 20 years, and 20 years ago, like, you pretty much, you're not going to believe this or whatever, people, but you were doing short form and videos and VSLs and newsletters in 2007 and 8 or 6, right? And now it's the same. I was doing Facebook groups in 2008. We were doing courses in 2008. Now it's like, yo, this is what's hot. It never wasn't.
You just didn't know
you
about
just
it.
Now know about it, but we've been here, bro. And it's not different, right? It's just when you stop spending and you stop trying, someone else comes up. Some people come down, and then time comes in, right? Like the people that we looked up to, our friends now and all that, they're kind of moving away. They're in different ventures. They're kind of getting into, like, they exit businesses. The up-and-comers now are like, yo, these guys are the gurus or the kings, the best guys. Like, they don't even know.
They don't even know they exist.
Right. And it's a new, you know, millennials are kind of like getting kicked off. Gen Z's the group now and things like that, right? And so Gen Alpha is going to come after that. And like, my daughter's going to be like, oh, I look up to this. I'm like, no one's going to know anything, right? Just things cycle. But if you keep spending, you keep trying, you keep being.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild. So I used to do print newsletters.
And they're coming back.
In the mail. Like, I used to, like, write something, print it up, and send it to people in the mail. And I love, like, you know, in the past, let's say 2 years, newsletters became hot again. Morning Brew, like, blew it up. Hustle blew it up. They both, you know, exited for big numbers.
Yeah.
But now everyone and their mom has a newsletter, and it's like this new thing. There's SaaS businesses like Beehive. Love Beehive. I like what they're doing. Tyler from Beehive, shout out. But newsletter is not new.
It wasn't new when we learned it.
My first internet marketing conference was in 2004. That's 20 years ago. You want to know the number one thing they taught you how to do at that?
Newsletters.
Build an email list. What's an email list? a newsletter. Like this isn't new by any stretch of the imagination, but it's new to a lot of people who are coming on for the first time, who are just, like it's incompetence. Like you don't know what you don't know. Right. And so there's so many things that just keeps coming back around. But like building a list and owning an audience has been done since day one.
And that's all it ever is, right? Like newsletters worked because you owned it, you kept going, and they didn't have media in this regard. So it was newsletters, ads. That's why we became so good at direct response. We're like, we'll pay our way to get people here. And it was blogging. It wasn't vlogging because we had to write on a website that had to give us.
Because you couldn't upload a video. You didn't have a camera and you didn't have a YouTube.
That wasn't a thing, right? Yeah. And so then it became podcasts, and then it became videos, and then it became boom. And then as soon as Facebook groups were like, okay, cool, let's slap them in a group. And like, you can monetize these things, but you got to be slick. Like sending them to setters and DMing, like nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed.
You're just new. That's really it. And if you would have stayed consistent, because this is where people go wrong. I don't care if it's e-com, I don't care, whatever. You jumped on that new trend. You jumped on that new tactic. Nothing we're saying is tactical. It is strategic. It is like forever. It is the simple that scales, not the fancy that fails. The same thing more. And that's all, a lot of people think you and I do a lot of things sometimes. I'm like, I just do the same thing more. I don't do anything actually else. I just do the same thing.
And I do more of it.
With another logo. Right. And more of that. That's it.
So I want to go back to this thing you said earlier about like, is it too late to start now? No. And so one thing is the world always wants new.
Right.
We always want new.
Yeah.
Even if it exists, it's new. Now we want it. We want the new. That's why drops work. I want the new color. I want the new style. I want the new flavor. I want the new. So if you're the new kid on the block, there's always a new rapper, right? Lil Wayne can be the GOAT. Drake can be the GOAT. And there's a new guy coming with a song next week. And it's always going to be like that.
Yeah.
Always. So everybody in the world wants new. Yep. So if you're the new person,
you're the dopamine.
Go out and get it, right? You're the dopamine shot of the day. The second thing is that platforms want new because they need more creators to create more content so they can throw more ads on it. And so like with Colt, the sunglass brand, like right now we're in the middle of, we have a new YouTube channel. It's new. We've gotten 700 subscribers in the past 90 days. Like it's not millions.
That's fire.
But that's fire for an 11-year-old sunglass brand.
That is sick.
Doing shorts. Right? YouTube shorts. And now every day I talk into a camera, or me and Colt talk into a camera, and I talk about building a sunglass brand with my kid. So you just said, I do the same thing, but more. Right. I'm literally doing the same thing. Every day I get on camera and I'm just like, all right, I'm going to share 3 lessons that I've learned about building a business with my kid. It's the same shit.
Yeah. I'm
There's
videoing.
Nothing new.
Yeah. I told everybody I'm doing this golf thing with some partners and stuff. And I just found the best designer after like 23 different people. I was like, dude, we scooped it, like, boom, you're it, because he gets the whole thing. And he's like, all right, cool, we start next week with like brand plan. I was like, I already know all that. He's like, yeah, we don't have to do it. I was like, actually, let's do it, but let me record it. I'm going to break that out into like, hey, this is how we're doing it from the jump. Like, this is the idea, this is this, and we're going to put that on Tailored Saints, and I'm going to start doing, I've even thought about doing like, day 1, boom, day 2.
That's
day
exactly
3,
what we're doing right now. Is like, I'm literally just building my sunglass brand with my son in front of you.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's tactical stuff because I'm really good at that stuff. But like, the video we posted last night was, we created a hat and it sucked. We did like a print on demand hat. We got it back and it sucked. And we just talked to the camera about 5 minutes. Like, look at this. Like, the stitching's bad. The colors are bad. So we're going back to like, that was it. We just talked for 5-6 minutes.
That's it.
That's it.
It'll be so long. You can get good chops. That's it, dude. What are you doing? The same thing more.
The same thing
and
more.
It just applies to e-commerce. Like when we do this, it applies to e-commerce. And when we do the Orlando, it applies to this office in a different tactic. Nothing changes.
Nothing changes.
Yeah.
It's all the same. So, Dude Perfect, 100 mil. In the comments, what would you do if you got $100 million to grow your media business? Love to hear your crazy ideas. And then 2, check out Tyson McGuffin. Let's link him up in the description. I'd love for you to check out some of his content because he's just doing the same thing everybody else does in the pickleball
just
niche.
Consistent.
And he's
Guys,
consistent.
Subscribe. We got a lot of good subscribers here with the little amount of shows that we actually have. So we're very excited. Continue to subscribe. Share this with people because it's the only way that we get people to grow this for us by you guys actually helping us do that. So if you need anything, subscribe and then DM us.
Grow the culture, get commas.
That's it.